Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. Look, I'm going to show you 14 different places that you can actually go to look for a loan even if you recently came out of a bankruptcy, okay? Now, here's the thing about it. If you are self-employed, I have lenders for you as well. Now, the first one is AANT Loans. Now, here's the thing with AANT Loans. Their situation is, granted, they're not in all 50 states. However, AANT Loans is very easy to get approved for. Now, here's the thing about it with AANT Loan. I would tell anyone, you have to have at least $1,200 or more in disposable income or income in order to qualify, okay? Now, as you can see here, they're not going to ask for like bank statements. They're not going to ask for pay stubs. What they do, they use Plaid to take a look and see what your deposits are looking like. Now, with AANT Loans, the situation is that they're going to do a soft pull, so it won't hurt your credit, as you can see here. It doesn't hurt your credit. But here's the interesting thing about it. Like I said, one, they're not in all 50 states. Number two is that you do have to have an active bank account. Now, that's the key to most of these lenders on the list, all right? You can check them out without a hard pull, but you definitely have to have an active bank account, all right? Now, let's look at some of the eligibility. Be at least 18, have a bank account, checking account, or savings. So they'll work with a checking or a savings account. Reside in one of the states that they operate in. Let's see if that can give us some of the states. So here's the states that they actually operate in. So if you're not on this list, then you know you can't apply. And I think the only one that may not be on this list is like New York, because they have those hard rules. Now, have a regular source of income. Now, again, as you can see here, you can have benefits from including Social Security, disability, and so on, alimony and child support, separate maintenance income, all right? So you can be on disability and still qualify for a loan with them. Now, the amount of the loan that they actually offer, as you can see here, they usually go anywhere from $500 up to $4,000, okay? So that's what, now please keep in mind, with these lenders, if you have challenging credit, your interest rates are going to be very high. But at the same time, if you need funding, then these here 14 lenders will definitely be able to give you a better option. Now, the next lender we're talking about, Indyland. All right. Now, with some of these lenders, I may put a link below so you can get direct access to them. But with Indyland, they loan up to $5,000. Now, in terms of Indyland, they're more like similar to a payday loan or whatever. But the good thing about it with Indyland, you can actually apply for this without a hard inquiry, okay? And they just verify income. So again, there's no pay stubs. There's no bank statements, all right? They just verify the information that you put in on the application, all right? But you do have to have an active bank account, all right? So I just want you guys to really understand that when going for these lenders, like I said, with interest rates, they may be higher because of your situation, all right? But in terms of worrying about a hard inquiry on the credit file, you don't have to worry about that, all right? Now, next one is Rise Credit. Now with Rise Credit, their loans go from $500 up to $5,000. And again, their situation is a soft pull. Now, they would look at your TransUnion, okay? But the difference between Indyland and Rise Credit will report your payments on time. So they'll report to TransUnion and Experian. Okay, now they also may report to the third-party credit bureaus. Now, in terms of where are some of those states, a list of their states, they're all in almost all 50 states. I think it's maybe like 3 to 5 states that they're not actually in, but they service most of the states. The only ones that I would say would have the highest is like maybe Washington, D.C., and New York. All right. But the good thing about Rise Credit, what I was saying about the third party credit bureaus like Clarity, which is owned by Experian, then they do Trust Factor, Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. So they will report your payments to 4 different credit bureaus. All right. So keep that in mind. Now, the next lender we're talking about is Rover. Now, with Rover, they loan anywhere from $300 to $5,000. Now, here's the interesting thing about Rover. They are a tribal lender, okay? So with tribal lenders, they're different than payday loans. They are simple interest on the loan. And what I mean by tribal lender, when you go to the casinos and stuff and you lose your money, what they do, they take that money and they re-loan it out, okay? So that's what Rover does. And yes, in terms of payments and stuff like that, they will report as well to help you build up the credit, okay? Now, I want to show you all, as I was saying, about them being a tribal lender, okay? But the good thing about this also is that there's no hard pull on the credit, and that's what we actually are looking for. Then the next one, it's a platform. This is not a direct lender. This is Cashusa, okay? Now, they're a platform. They help you find up to $10,000, all right? Now, for them, they put your information in a database, all right? And they find lenders for you that are comparable to your situation. Now, I want to tell you guys something so that you all understand when you're dealing with these lenders. Make sure that if you're being supported in the household, if you have an income plus your spouse has an income, you put all the household income on the application. The reason is this is going to suppress your debt to income ratio. It will bring your debt to income ratio down, and it'll make it much easier for you to qualify, okay? And for most of these lenders, your average income goes anywhere from $800 up to $1,500 is your average monthly income that you have to have. So that's the reason I said that you can be on disability, welfare, veterans benefits and stuff in order to qualify for some of these lenders. All right. Now, the next one is Net Credit. Now, here's the interesting thing about Net Credit. They offer loans up to $10,000. All right. But to my understanding, Net Credit also offers a line of credit as well. Yes, they offer the line of credit as you can see here. So their line of credit goes up to $4,500. So with the line of credit, remember with line of credit is a revolving, right? So that means that you borrow it, pay it down, borrow it, pay it down. Now with me, I like lines of credit because I like to be able to use the money, pay it back, and still have access to the money, right? And again, as you can see here, it does not affect your credit score. And it talks about the eligibility in terms of how much you want, explain some of this stuff of what it is that the purpose of why you need the money. All right. Now, the next lender is Opportune. Now, please keep in mind with Opportune, granted that they loan up to $10,000, from $300 up to $10,000. And again, it does not affect your credit score when you apply. Now, the good thing about Opportune, they also offer credit cards as well, but we're going to be focusing on the loans. Now, here's the thing with Opportune, understand they're not in all 50 states, okay? That's one thing. And also understanding that in terms of you don't even have to have a Social Security number in order to qualify for a loan with them. Okay, and the minimum income with Opportune is $500. Okay, so that way you have an idea. Is OneM. Now with OneM, the interesting thing about it, they loans go from $1,500 up to $2,000. Okay, and the terms of it goes from 24 to 60 months. As you can see, the 18% up to 35.99. Now the reason I'm talking about these lenders is because these are direct lenders. These are not your credit unions where you have to join and then you have to wait a certain amount of time in order for you to get a a loan with no hard pull on the credit, or a loan without them looking at the personal credit. These are lenders that you can go to actually get money when you need it. And like I said, the good part about it, like with many of these here lenders, there's no hard pull on the credit. Minimum income, to my understanding, with OneM, again, is about $800. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now you have personalloans.com. Now with personalloans.com, they loan anywhere from $250 up to $35. However, with personalloans.com, just also keep in mind that this is a platform, okay? And so in terms of personalloans.com, they themselves would not do a hard pull on the credit because they are a platform. The lenders that they may shop your loan application around to, they may choose to do a hard pull on the credit, okay? But again, personalloans.com, if you have a high debt to income ratio, you have good income, but you just have a high debt to income ratio, then this may be one of those lenders you want to check out to help find the funding, right? Because if you have a high debt to income ratio, let me help you understand. You can have an 800 credit score, but if you have a high debt to income ratio, like your traditional banks and credit unions, because their debt to income ratio, the maximum is usually 50-55%, they will turn you down. Now, the only credit union that I am aware of that will go up to 60% debt to income ratio is PenFed Credit Union. All right. So just so you can keep in mind, but most of these lenders, their debt to income ratio is usually above that 70-75% debt to income ratio. Okay, we're talking about is Avant. All right, so with Avant loans, as you can see here, their loans go anywhere from $2,000 up to $35,000. All right, now here's the thing about it with Avant. You need a minimum of 560 credit score. Now the income they want you to have is at least $1,500. All right, that's the minimum income. But again, you can do a pre-qualification so that it won't get a hard inquiry on your credit. Like I said, I'm giving you a list of the most low-hanging fruit. Now, here's the thing about it with all these lenders I'm talking about. These are tier 4 lenders, meaning that they are aware that you may have challenging credit. And because they are aware you may have challenging credit, they're going to charge you a higher interest rate. But they have more flexibility with approving you because, you may have had a bad situation that happened, but you still have income that you're able to pay, so they're able to be more flexible, again, with their underwriting, because a lot of these companies, they're starting to use AI. So they're looking at other variables in terms of just the credit. So please keep that in mind. That's what makes these here lenders so unique and make them more flexible. Here's one lender. This is Universal Credit, okay? And so as you can see with Universal Credit, they give loans up to $50,000. Now, their debt to income ratio is 75%, okay? And as you can see here again, won't impact your credit score, all right? So that's the reason that they're on the list, because with Avant and Universal Credit, these are my top tier. And as you can see here, they go anywhere from $1,000 up to $50,000. Minimum income that you have to have, for them, I would say it's about $1,000 to $1,200 would be the minimum income for them. All right, but you don't have to worry about it because you can do a pre-approval once you put all your data. Just keep in mind to make sure that if you have other income in the household, that you document that income in the household as well. So you may be on disability or welfare. However, you may have a room in the house that you're renting out for an extra $700 or $800 a month. So that's income you can calculate into your income to help you get qualified. Now, I'm not telling you to deceive these financial institutions. I'm just telling you. Also, again, keep in mind that you must have an active checking account. All right. That's one of the biggest variables that a lot of people, they try to go with these lenders and stuff. But if you don't have an active checking or savings account, then you may not qualify. Okay. Now, for those of you that are side gigs, okay, and you can't prove proof of income only through your bank account and stuff, but you have side gigs, you don't have regular income, you're doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash and stuff, then one of the lenders that offer up to $10,000, as you can see here, up to $10,000 is Fundu. Now, again, interest rates are going to be sky high. Just keep that in mind. However, the paperwork they look at it is you have an active bank account with regular deposits. Now, in terms of you being an entrepreneur, a small business owner, I'm going to tell you guys this again. You're leaving money on the table when you do not structure yourself as a business. The reason is if you have revenue coming in, then you can actually have those bank statements and stuff to show proof you're able to get funding without using your personal credit. Or that's what they actually go off. So if you set up your company now, just said today, then come January 1st of 2024, then your company will actually be 1 year old once you file your taxes, okay? Just keep that in mind. And if you need help with actually doing that, click the link in the description so that we can help you find the right NAICS code as well as filing the proper paperwork and the right entity as well. Now, here's the thing about it so that you can look at it. You're going to apply, get approved, get your funds. Now, what is actually required? Here's your requirements, all right, for Fundu. Need to connect with Plaid, so again, or Decision Logic, again, because they use this to verify that you have deposits. Now, another thing I would tell you guys, if you have just this side hustle income coming in, another thing, once you structure the company, you want to set up a PayPal account. And the reason you want to do that, by you setting up the PayPal account, you want all of your payments going over to PayPal and then transferring over to your business bank account. So that way you're able to qualify for funding through PayPal as well. But you have to have a business bank account. And again, for those of you that need help with this, or you have questions about properly doing this, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Now back to Fundu. Again, you need to connect your Plaid or Logic. All right, you need to be making a minimum of $1,500, and you need to be in business for at least 3 months. Okay, but they will loan you up to $10,000. Now, the next one is Giggle Finance. And again, with these type of companies, they're not looking at the pay stubs. They're not looking at the banks. They just want to see if you have real activity going on in your bank accounts and stuff. So as you can see, they loan up to $5,000 in terms of who qualifies for their loans. Again, no credit requirements. So you don't have to worry about credit requirements. Instant cash available. Now, one other thing is, as you can see here, there's Uber, Lyft, rideshare, handyman, TaskRabbit, truck drivers, salons, taxis. So they're working with any and everybody to help them qualify. Just keep in mind that the interest rates on these type of loans is very high. Okay, now, here's the last one, and unfortunately, this is a credit union. However, the reason they're on the list is because I really like what they're offering to the public, but you have to be in this region of the country. And this is DC Credit Union. So if you're a member of DC Credit Union, they actually offer microloans, and their microloans is up to $50,000. It's an unsecured term loan up to 85 months, but all you have to have is a 610 credit score for them. All right. So those are about 14 different places where you can actually, 14 different places where you can actually get loans with no hard pull on the personal credit. Now, if you have any other question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.